This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 15. The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. So with that, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH being the name of the Heavenly Father, in whom the world has ignorantly called Jehovah, or Yahweh, and YAHAWASHI being the name of his only begotten Son, in whom the world has ignorantly called Jesus Christ, in whom we do worship. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings, giving double honors unto my apostles and elders at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so. And to you brothers out there, fellow soldiers, yoke fellows, brothers of the sword, Shalawam unto you, peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect and to the house of David. So Lord's willing, this is an edifying lesson. And Lord's willing, I call this lesson. Lord's willing, I call this lesson. What should I call it then? Oh, I'll call it something dealing with the famine in Egypt during the time of Joseph. I wanted to link it with that somehow. What do I want to call it? Oh, the years of plenty are ended. I'll name it the years of plenty are ended. All right. If you did not gain in the spirit, then you have nothing. If you have gained in this world, you shall lose it all. Call all YAHAWASHI, Lord's willing, this is an edifying lesson. Now, this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 15. Fools are so exhausted by a little work that they can't even find their way home. See? So this nation has so many problems in it that you won't even be able to find your way back to prominence, back to the days of old, back to the days of, Leave It to Beaver, 1950s, when things were good, money was strong. You won't find your way back to that yet ever again. It says, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. And that's Esau Edom, man. He's the basis of men. He's a child. He's the children of fools. Yeah, base men. It says, what sorrow for the land ruled by a servant. That's Esau Edom. The land whose leaders feast in the morning. So they're spending up more than what they have. It's just like when you have not a probationary period, but you have a grace period to pay a certain bill, or you have a period to pay something off. If you have the money and you just spend it up on things that don't help, especially on drink, and you make yourself drunken, like, what are you doing? Knowing that you got to get up and pay that debt, but you're drunk out of your damn mind. That's what this nation, this is the road that they're going down, and there's no way out. Now let me get what it said in we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, man. So all these quantitative easing, all these different mandates, not even mandates, but all these different solutions are not working, and they're not going to work. All right. Now, where are we at? Woo! Here we go. Yep. Jeremiah 51 and 8. And it reads, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. See, they thought there was a way of coming out of this, digging themselves out of this pit that they have digged for themselves. But there is no way out. Because it tells you in the scriptures that the full storehouses shall suddenly become empty. And the farmers shall, wail and, pretty much for the, how's it go in Edris? Fearful constellation. Yeah, they see that the future is bleak. It said the door shall be shut in the streets where the grinding is low. We're at that time right now, and there's no turning back to what once was. Just like an arrow that's shot of an archer and it goes and parts the air. When the air closes back up again, you don't know where that arrow came from to hit its target. Same with the going back to the days of Babylon of 2019 and 2018. We're never going back to those days ever again. We're pushing into a new era, all right, that this devil believes he's going to bring forth. AI, smart cities, you know, all roads lead to the chip, the RFID microchip, beginning with this Maxine. All right, he's putting these towers every place. But the days that were once before will never return. And I have this clip from, was it Silver Report? No, it's from the Atlantis report or something like that. Going into the economy. It says, but suddenly Babylon too has fallen. Weep for her. Give her medicine. Perhaps she can yet be healed. But no, that is not the case. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right? This is why Babylon is crumbling, because of what it has done in the face, or before the face of YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI. This is Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed her if we could, but nothing can save her now. Let her go, abandon her, return now to your own land. That's what these other nations are doing. They're bailing out on the dollar. You know, they're not dealing with it anymore. And then the Lord is ultimately asking our people, flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul, going into the elect. Your mind will leave this place. You know, according to the prophecies and your belief in YAHAWASHI and the men that he have set up, that these things shall surely come to pass. So why keep your mind here and now, when all this is about to be dissolved? As Peter said, what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? It says, return now to your own land, for her punishments reaches to the heavens. It is so great it cannot be measured. See, and the Lord is going to destroy this place with a great overthrow. Call all Yahawashai. I'm going to play this clip, but before I do, let me go here, because this is what's happening. There's a manufactured famine and then a physical famine that the Lord brought from both sides. See, to really cripple this place and bring it to an end. Same as in ancient Egypt when Joseph was there. See, Joseph said you got to pick out a man that's discreet among all the people and set him over the affairs. But there's not one in the land such as Joseph. But the men of the Lord, but we, just like Jeremiah said, we would have healed Babylon if we could. But there is no healing this place. The Lord has brought this place to a swift end. The writing is on the wall. This place is done. Okay? The economists are saying it. The people in the Senate are saying it. The people in Congress are saying it. The people that have these small businesses and even these large corporations, they're saying that it's done. It's over. Finito. You have ships in the ports that will not come in. They're rationing certain ships coming into port and to bring in their goods. So what the hell is going on? This place is crumbling, and it's not going to come again. Now this is I'll start at 31. Genesis 41:31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by YAHAWAH, and YAHAWAH will shortly bring it to pass. So the Lord is going to crash this system. And with the crash of it is going to be sedition amongst men, invading one another, famine. Many going to perish of famine that dwell in the land. And with that is going to begin a domino effect of fury and hail and violence. All right. That's through violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. Then it's going to lead to war. Then it's going to lead to a change of systems, an economic crash. Okay. And once World War III is declared, after majority of the people are chipped with an RFID radio frequency device to bring forth their new system so that these people will be into the Internet of Things. Then the war will start, and not so long after, the destruction of Babylon will ensue with nuclear fire and missiles. But it begins here at this time. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise and set him over the land of Egypt. But the modern leaders of this time, they're not doing that. They're not going to the apostles and elders and brothers that actually know what the hell is going on, because the Lord have deprived them of this wisdom. He made them fools. So this place will be thrown down. Okay? It says, let Pharaoh do this. Let him appoint officers over the land and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. That's what they didn't do with this economy. They just kept bailing these banks out, but they never put into anything. And now with these natural disasters, this pandemic, and all these other things ensuing, there's no way for them to turn back to what once was, because those days are over. So let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. That's what they're not doing. They did not do that. Babylon the Great. They're telling these farmers to destroy their livestock. This pandemic has crippled the nation, put a lot of businesses out that will never return. And then beyond that, the shipping of goods from these other nations have been slowed exponentially. You see? It says, and the food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. But ancient Egypt wasn't to go out. See, Joseph was there to rescue Egypt, and even the nation of Israel in their infancy, to be a great nation. And through Joseph, Egypt was made a great nation, enriched beyond belief. But this modern Egypt is not so. The Lord wants to bring it down and to put it to an end. So, without further ado, real quick, Ecclesiastes 12. Ecclesiastes 12. Bear with me. 1. Remember now thy created in the days of thy youth. It's talking to our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Look now. Let's go back to 2020. The world was shut down, stopped. That was for you to hear what the Heavenly Father, through his Son, through his men, have always been saying for all this time. To get right, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For those of you that return, blessed are ye. For those of you that do not return, woe unto thee. Because it's going to get very dark. Prepare for a dark winter. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Though the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Now you have no pleasure in these days, because in order for you to move around and do that which was well pleasing unto your flesh, you had to be the all-star, the juice team all-star. I had to steal that from the Apostle Ramla. Now you gotta get the juice. You got the juice now in order for you to do that which is pleasing to your flesh. See, now you're in the days where you have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds will turn out to the rain. So while you have this knowledge and access to information, take it. It's yours while you still have it. Because it's going to come a time where you do not have access to these things. All right? Because either you will be locked down or you will be locked out. A lot of people will be locked out because they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't think, the government will never do that. Yes, they will do that. They have an agenda to keep. And you don't even have no government anymore. Your government has been overtaken by FEMA. And you already know what FEMA has: coffins and concentration camps, detention camps, internment camps, labor camps. There you go. You can't say they never did this in American society. They did this during World War II by putting Japanese in there. And they were U.S. citizens. They weren't Japanese citizens. They were just of Japanese descent, so to speak, Ammonites. But they're going to do that to you American idiots. All right, even those of you that got the Boost Mobile, all right, they're going to throw your ass in there. Or you're going to die of the famine in the cities, just unable to move from the economic collapse that will ensue. Or you're just going to give up. Men's hearts failing them for fear. All right? This is in the day when the keepers of the house. Now, economy means house management. So the keepers of the house are the people that's in the economy. All right? They're trembling. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. How they gonna bow? Because there's no work for them to do. They're at a standstill. They don't know what to do. And the grinders cease the jobs because they are few, and those that look out of their windows be darkened. The future is uncertain. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. These businesses are closing indefinitely. When the sound of the grinding is low, the jobs, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. You're like, in the morning, you can use that as an alarm clock. Certain people got up, they had that 9 to 5. That was just their whole life. They were at this certain job for 10, 20 years. They were a veteran at the job, expecting to get that 401k. And now they're waking up to the sound of that alarm or the birds in the morning, and there is no job. They're going to the unemployment line, and it's coming to a close where the unemployment is about to fail and end. Everything is about to dry up. See? All the daughters of music shall be brought low. All these concerts, people ain't going to these concerts unless they vaccinated. And then the people in the music industry is not making what they once made. And then the music itself is trash. Everything has been depleted. Everything has gotten worse over time. See? And there you go, man. And there you go. It says, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, right? It says, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. Yeah, this place ain't no Macy's Day Parade anymore. The spirit of Babylon is done. Because man goeth to his long home. Many people are going to go to the grave. That's the long home. They're going to go to, they're going to die. A lot of people with this juice in them, they're going to eventually turn into something and drop dead. Others is going to drop dead from the fear. Others are going to drop dead from the famine. Others are going to die from the war that's going to ensue. Madmen spare none. Men invading one another. Men shall be afraid. See that? There you go. It says, and the mourners go about the streets. You're just going to be out in the middle of the street just crying because the economy is falling. Everything you knew is at an end, and you don't know where to turn. So I'm going to play this clip. Shalom.
There are fires, flooding, and a ravaging health crisis. But the markets just keep going up day after day, week after week. This will be the worst market crash since 1929. I wish it wasn't so, but the Federal Reserve has thrown multi-trillion dollars into the economy. They don't have very many tools left in their toolbox. If the market rolls over soon, the economy will collapse like in 2008. The US stocks are today insanely overvalued and overbought. A heavy correction is imminent. Soon, the market will collapse big time. It seems like all the predictions of the degradation of society we were warned about have come to pass.
Woo, you see that? The prophets have foretold you that these things would come. But nobody wanted to listen to us, right? Nobody wanted to hear us out. Let me get that crashing from the hills. Crashing. Let's get it. And I'm going to play the rest of the clip. Come on. Oh, yeah, we'll get that too. Our money is spent, but let me get the crashing. And it reads in Zephaniah 1 and 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills, from these smaller governments. The fish gate representing a place of trade, the place of distribution. All right. It says, which is modern day Wall Street. It says, "Howl ye inhabitants of Mektesh," which was a merchant city. "For all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." See that? All they that bear the silver are cut off. Now let's go back to ancient Egypt. All right, where they had to come to Joseph and say, "Our money is spent." You see how they've been giving you these stimulus checks? Salaki. They have been giving you these stimulus checks. All right. "Our money is spent." How did that come up? Okay, there we go. So they've been giving you these stimulus checks, but it's coming to a close. Too much overspending, not enough production. Everything has been slowed. Certain things are at a standstill. Other things will never come back. There you go. Let me play this back.
Are today insanely overvalued and overbought. A heavy correction is imminent. Soon,
like you said, the heavy correction is imminent. It showed the damn White House, man, or the Senate building. That's what it showed you. Showed you ugly ass DC. A correction is coming from the Almighty. He's going to put an end to this place, but he's going to cripple it to a point of no return, and then destroy it and beat it from that point on until there's nothing. Right? He's going to stretch out his hand over Egypt and smite it with plagues as before.
the market will collapse big time. It seems like all the predictions of the degradation of society we were warned about have come to pass.
Woo, there it is. It's Genesis 47 and 18. Let's get right into it. Now, we're in modern day Egypt, but they're doing the same thing in this new Egypt. The difference is that Joseph was a wise man and he feared the Heavenly Father. The people that you're going to turn to are goddamn Satanists. And they're on the left-hand side of the game. And they're not going to give a damn about you people. They're going to let you people starve, die, whatever the hell. Okay? They know your money is spent and what they're going to make you get. Marcus, the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. And then you're going to have a cancerous sore, a disease, and you're going to die. And all you people that have the vaccine, you're going to turn into something that is unlooked for, and you're going to die. You're going to drop dead. It's going to be a mass a death rate out here. And that's and along with the economy falling, along with cyber attacks, along with invasions, along with all these things that's going to ensue, it's going to just be chaos after chaos, a domino effect, one after the other. Genesis 47 and 18. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. You see, so people going to sell things that are lucrative. Some things that they can liquidate, like a car or a house or property, which you don't have no access to those things anyway. Certain people do, actually own their car, but they're going to have to give it away. A damn back house, a damn motor vehicle, the extra van that you got, this, that, and the third. Or I'm going to have to put a mortgage on the house. I'm going to have to sell it. I'm going to have to open up a second mortgage. And they just going to take it from you. The banks already own a lot of your settlements. People that's in apartment buildings that's been on moratoriums for the last year or two. That apartment building, you don't own it. So if they come in there and tell you, get the hell out, we've been the ones paying this thing for the last year and a half. You have nowhere to go. Your moratorium is ended. Get the hell out. You're going to have to be out. But then the people going to come back because they order through chaos. Order op chaos. So from the chaos, they establish order. And you people going to come right back like the people in Egypt during the time of Joseph came and said all they had to offer was this. It says, there is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes? Both we and our land, buy us and our land for bread. And we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And that's exactly what the people are going to do. They're going to turn, those that are weak are going to turn to this government, as many already have, and they're going to be destroyed. Their end goal is not going to be what they expected.
The US government is viciously pumping the stocks and oil prices as inflation skyrockets. Lumber is back up more than $500. Oil production is at 2017 levels, but the price is at $70. Housing is on average 20% higher. Gasoline is almost $5 per gallon now. Electricity has risen to 30 cents per kilowatt hour. My electricity was just 20 cents per kilowatt hour 2 years ago. Now it has risen by 50%. My water bill has gone up 20% in the last 3 months. USPS is having trouble filling positions. Intel is having trouble filling positions.
Ooh, there should be no work for Egypt. The head of tail may do. So we're at that time, man. We're in that time. And this was going to lead to, once the economy completely falls to nothing, this is where we're at in the world. At this particular time, we are right here. Now, this is 2nd Esdras 16 and 18. Troubles will come and many people will groan. Famine will come and many will die. Wars will come and the world powers will tremble. Disasters will come and everyone will be terrified. What will people do when these disasters come? Question. Famine, epidemics, troubles, and sufferings are sent to punish and correct people. But in spite of all this, they will not turn away from their sins. They soon forget their punishment. Yeah. Certain things are opening back up. These idiots that got the juice think they own. I get to go to cons. I get to dance again. I get to do all this crap, not knowing that you're a ticking time bomb that's going to implode when the time is right. And you're going to be in a world of hurt. Since the time is coming when food will be so cheap that people will think a time of peace and plenty has arrived. And that time has come and gone. You know, it looked like everything was coming back. Things were opening up. And then next thing you know, they're starting to mandate certain things, make things harder and restrict things from certain people. And others that may think they have the freedom, they're restricted in their own way. So we're at that time. Jobs are out here apparently, but nobody's really going to these jobs. Why? Because the supply chain is cut and things are not coming in. Certain things you would go into a store and see or buy, they're out of stock or not in either they're out of stock or there's a inconvenience for you. Oh, sorry to inconvenience you. This particular product has not been shipped. It has been ordered, but it hasn't arrived yet. We are sorry for your inconvenience. Saying that in these grocery stores, empty ass shelves. Come on, you go in there and get a certain type of coffee from Brazil or Ethiopia, some damn where. They gonna say, oh, we don't have that anymore. We just got the house coffee. Well, you ain't got the Brazilian mix. You ain't got this, that, and the third. No, I'm sorry, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. We don't have that because these things come from places outside the U.S., man. And then the things that actually came from the U.S. have been destroyed. The breadbasket of America is being put down, destroyed through by these natural disasters, hurricanes, twisters, flooding, drought, fires. See? So we're the world is in a world of hurt, really. The men of the Lord, we're excited. Because the Lord told us that we're going to eat in these times, that he's going to keep us from famine. We're going to laugh at destruction and famine. He's going to keep us that even our children shall not see hell, the grave. That we're going to have an abundance. The heathen are going to envy us, but they're going to be able to do nothing against us, man. That the Lord's going to keep us from the scourge of the tongue and deliver us from the power of the sword. And we're going to be at peace with the beasts of the field and in league with the stones of the field. We're going to be at peace with the beasts and in league with the stones of the field. You see? Says the time is coming when food will be so cheap that people will think a time of peace and plenty has arrived. Look at what the VP said. She said, you better buy your little presents early because it's going to be a dark winter. All right, for real. It says, but then disasters will spring up everywhere. And we have seen that in the last recent months, especially in the year 2021. We seen fires, flooding, this, that, and the third, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, storms, hurricanes, all types of things, man. That's what the scriptures is saying. But then disasters will spring up everywhere. Wars, famine, and great confusion. The perplexity of nations, man. Not knowing where to turn.
Starbucks is having trouble filling positions. Wages are going up, the price of goods is going up, and the price of services is rising. This, in turn, leads to a rise in wages, which leads to a rise in prices, and onward.
See, we say, very, very, very troubling place for Babylon. It says, many people on the earth will starve to death, and those who escape starvation will be killed in war. What's coming to the states? Civil war, class wars, race wars, war of the sexes, the haves and the have-nots, the finessed and the unfinessed. All right, then you got world war on the brink. You have different dissensions amongst the EU against the U.S. Certain people that was once allied with the U.S. are now being allied with the Russians and these other factions. That's where we're at. Their corpses will be thrown out like garbage, these people. Hey, they got the FEMA coffins, right? And there will be no one left to comfort the living. The earth will be deserted and its cities demolished. I think about I Am Legend. And it began with a Maxine. It says there will be no one left to plow the land, because many of the farmers have been paid off. Some of them, a lot of them have committed suicide, and others of them have been threatened with bankruptcy or assassination. So they're just giving up, taking the money and getting out. And that's where we're at right now in this world. It says there will be no one left to plow the land or plant it. Trees will bear their fruit, but there will be no one left to pick it. Why? Because a lot of the farmers' helping hands were immigrants, so to speak. And you see how they rounding up Levi, the Haitians. They kicked out Issachar and the other northern tribes, because, they didn't have their paperwork or whatever the hell. And then this pandemic really knocked everything back. You can't travel without certain accommodations or accreditation, if that's even a word. Okay, you can't travel without certain paperwork and proof of this, that, and the third. It says grapes will ripen, but there will be no one left to make wine. There will be desolation everywhere, and a person will long to see the face of another human being, or even to hear another person's voice. There goes your cyber attacks, where they knock out the power, they knock out the communications, and people ain't gonna be able to talk on the phone with somebody or FaceTime somebody or actually see a person walking down the street, because people gonna be locked down or locked out or put away or taken away. That's what's gonna happen. And a person will long to see the face of another human being or even to hear another person's voice. Only 10 will be left out of a whole city. Out of millions, 10 left. That's a lot of death. It says, and in the countryside only 2, who have hidden in the forest or in caves. When an olive grove is harvested, 3 or 4 olives may be left on each tree. When grapes in a vineyard are picked, a few bunches may be left, even by those who look carefully. See, it's going to get scarce out here. Hence, the famine means a scarcity of things. Not actually just no food, but a lack thereof on every level, right? It says, that is how it will be in those days. 3 or 4 will be missed by soldiers, whether it be militia, military, what do they call it? The National Guard, foreign troopers, factions, what do you call it? Mercenaries. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a forever purge out here, man. It says that is how it would be in those days. 3 or 4 will be missed by the soldiers who search through the houses to kill everyone. The land will be left empty. The fields will be overgrown with briars. The roads and paths will be covered with weeds, because certain the groundskeepers that kept these certain cities and buildings and different properties up will either be dead, killed, imprisoned, juiced, or just missing in action, So it's going to be vines growing over buildings and stuff like that. You know, the vegetation is going to take over what it once held, before these houses were built right there, or these buildings, or these businesses, or these grounds that were kept, but now are unkept in this particular time. We're in this time. We're approaching this time. These are not the beginning of sorrows. We are in the sorrows, man. It says the land will be left empty. The fields will be overgrown with briars. The roads and paths will be covered with weeds and thorns, because there will be no sheep to graze along them. That's how closed off these roads are going to be. And then the roads that are open are going to be controlled by who? The military. Hence, martial law. Young women will be in mourning because there is no one to marry them. A lot of these men are sterilized from the juice, from Nessa. So they ain't going to be able to have any children or get down with them. They're going to be had in derision. Then others of the men, the reason the women are going to be in mourning is because the other men going to be shipped off to the war to fight. Others are going to be killed in these seditious acts. Okay? And it's going to be a claw for power. Because in a time where your only thought is survival, you're not going to be thinking about no damn woman. So there you go for that. That's why they're going to be in mourning. Really, they're going to be a prey to either be used, eaten, or as a bartering chip for whatever the man might need in that time. So that's why women, young women going to be in mourning at the same time. Because the men that they do love and trust are going to be gone, shipped off, dead, imprisoned. And then the men that they actually do see is going to be a danger unto them, because they don't know if they're going to just use them, eat them, or have them as a bargaining chip. There you go. It says wives will be in mourning because they have lost their husbands to what? The war, to imprisonment, to the seditious acts that's going to take place in this land and in all lands, but mainly here in Babylon the Great, aka America. It says daughters will be in mourning because there is no one to help them. See, because their brothers and their father are all gone. They're dead, or they died from a disease, or they died in the city of the famine, or they never seen them again. They left, never to return. You see, it says all the young men will be killed. See, this is how it's explained why these daughters and wives are going to be sad. All the young men will be killed in the war, and all the married men will die in the famine. See that? Now listen to my message, you people who serve the Lord YAHAWASHI. It is the Lord YAHAWASHI's message. So receive it and believe what he says. The disasters are approaching rapidly, and they will not be delayed. A woman in the 9th month of pregnancy may suffer labor pains for several hours, but when the time comes for the baby to be born, there is no longer any delay. In the same way, the disasters that are coming on the earth will not be delayed, and the world will groan when it is caught in its labor pains. Listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When the disasters come, you must live as people whose home is not in this world.
We have a record in the M2 money supply, which is driving the bubble. The Fed is about 6 months behind on tapering the $1.5 trillion per year flood of bond buying. They are well overdue on tapering and need to allow interest rates to rise. Debt is higher than ever. The Fed has destroyed the market, the middle class, and the real economy.
See, the real economy is suffering and is failing. And they won't tell you that. And it's funny how they showing Jake. Jake is the main one feeling this madness. And they main ones want to hold on to this crap. But you got Edomites out there like, the hell no, it's through. Hey, prep. Get your shit together. Hey, shit's about to hit the fan, so to speak. But yet Jake still believes in this stupid crap. And they get the goddamn juice to make this madness go on, not knowing that the disasters are still on their way. It's only going to get worse and worse from this time forward. But for the elect members, the Lord is going to keep us and guide us. Those that keep his commandments will he guide. Fear and don't fear, neither doubt. All right, don't be afraid, neither doubt. The Lord is your guide for you elect members out there. He said, my servants shall eat, but they shall be hungry. My servants shall drink, but they shall be thirsty. My servants shall rejoice, but they shall be howling for vexation of spirit. Okay? Let's read on. And it reads, merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Why? Because they're going to be ransacking these stores. They're going to take it over at gunpoint. There ain't going to be a lot of, the cops going to give up their badges and go protect their own families. So who's going to come to the aid of these different businesses? You know? No one. It's going to be a forever purge type scenario. They're going to run up in there with a mask. Like, woo! Forever purge. We're taking this thing over. We're going to take all the bread. We're going to take these eggs. We're going to take the milk. And you're going to just let us walk out of here, okay? And then if the dude don't let him walk out of there, they're going to shoot his ass. So there you go, man. That's what world we're coming into, man. And then if you do want to eat, there's only going to be another place that you can go other than these stores that's already been ransacked by these militiamen and these gangs. What else is going to be left for you to turn to, for you just people in this world? The government. The government is going to have food, but you're going to have to adhere unto their ways. And you're going to have to get that vaccine. And ultimately, you're going to have to get that RFID microchip to be in the Internet of Things. If you're not in that bracket, then you will be locked out. Now it reads, merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy. Yeah, because people going to be waiting for you in the damn parking lot, knowing that they ain't got the juice, but you got it, and you got some food on you. They're going to be waiting for you in the dark, and they're going to jump out, surprise you, shoot you, and take what you got. And if you're a fine-looking little old woman, they might take you along with the goods, man. Because you women going to learn that this world that you've been living in, this goddamn bubble, is make-believe. You about to enter into the world of the real. When men is going to be men, and it's going to be ferocious and goddamn chaotic, and what else was the other word? Savage. It says perilous times shall come. Another word for that is savage. It's going to be savage times out here, man. It says their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy. Whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. You know, yep, that's it. Whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Yeah, so you have a house or a little property, it's going to be ransacked. It's going to be taken over. It's going to be burned to the ground. It's going to be anarchy out here. Okay? It says farmers should not expect to harvest their crops or pick their grapes. We're in that time now where they're paying a lot of these farmers off not to they're paying them off to kill their livestock, to dump their goods, to be paid off more than what they would have made in 2 to 3 years of farming. And they're getting out of there. They're like, oh, well, this shit is crumbling. Might as well get out of Dodge before this thing gets worse than what it is. And that's what's going on. And you have these rich elites. Number one, one dude I'm thinking about, Bill Gates, is buying up this farmland. I wonder why. Because everything is in government hands. And they're going to want you to turn to the government with all your heart. Just like how we seen in the past during the famine that hit ancient Egypt. All the nations round about Egypt had to come up to Egypt to buy grain and corn. But yet the Egyptians within Egypt, which already knew what was going on because Joseph broke down the dream that Pharaoh had, they were at a point like, hey, our money is spent. We will not hide it from our Lord. All we have is our own bodies and our lands by us. And that's what it's going to be. It says those who marry must not expect to have children. Those who don't marry must live as if they had been widowed. And you got to just think of the other person as good as dead. It says anything that is done will be useless. Yeah, everything that's done is going to be useless.
This is definitely the biggest Ponzi on the planet. This will hit the fan very soon. The panic will be so abrupt that nearly all of us will find that we cannot get our orders to execute. We will be stuck and have to watch helplessly as our shares plummet. Best of all is when we finally can unload our ruined stocks. the money we get for them will have fallen even faster.
Ooh, so the money that you do gain right before this economy falls ain't gonna be worth shit. It's gonna only be used for toilet paper and paper to burn. Okay? Because we're coming into that winter time. All right? It says foreigners will harvest the crops, seize the wealth, tear down the houses, and carry off the children as slaves. And that's beautiful because the Chinese ain't dealing with this American dollar, nor the Russians and these other foreign nations. And the Chinese, they don't want the dollar anymore, the greenback. They have bought up land. So when they come in here with their troopers, they're going to seize the wealth. What's that? The land. And the people on the land that they own, which the American government has not told its American people that a lot of these lands belong to the Chinese. When they come over here with their troopers, you're going to see. And they're going to take your children as slaves, captives. Excuse me. And take them to a camp or kill them or whatever they're going to do with them. Okay? It says anyone who has children will be bringing them up to be slaves or to die of starvation. So if you stay in these cities like, I'm afraid, I'm scared, FEMA's going to come. Well, you're going to die of the famine because that's what's going to engulf the city. Ain't nothing going to be coming in because there's going to be military men everywhere, especially foreign troopers. They definitely ain't going to allow anything to get in. But they're going to come in there looking for you. And they're going to find your children. And if you do have any children, they only just going to be thrown into a concentration camp. A goddamn death game, end game, wherever the hell. All right. It says anyone who makes money. So if you have a little something, or you got some gold or whatever right before the economy crashed, or if you got any land or anything that could be liquidated or be used as collateral, that's going to be taken violently. Anyone who makes money will do so only to see it violently taken away. The more possessions people gather, the more they spend on their cities and houses, the more attention they give to their personal appearance. All these social media apps of these women into their own goddamn self, and these men too. The Lord is becoming more and more angry. It says the more angry the Lord YAHAWASHI will become with them because of their sins. This is what the Lord YAHAWASHI says. All right, so let's get up out of there and let's go to the book of Isaiah 19. All right, as this economy is failing and it's going to fall and not rise again. Now, this is Isaiah 19. We're going to jump down to the point. Play this.
A major collapse is incoming. Welcome to the Atlantis Report. You are here for your daily dose of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please, take a second to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also hit the notifications bell. Thank you. The Fed has destroyed markets by manipulating interest rates and printing trillions to prop up markets. The fact that Fed officials are day trading the stock market is prima facie proof that we are a nation of weak leaders and corruption is so deep. The machine that prints out the paper money, which inflation is eating up, will soon break down.
Hey, a nation of weak leaders, man. It says, woe unto you when your king is a child. And they're drunk. All right? You're supposed to be using the money to prosper the nation and bring it from the depths of destruction. But you just spinning it up like a damn idiot, man. Like a child would. You give a child some money, what are you going to go do? Go to the store, get candy and cookies and sweets and all that? You know? Why do you think the parents hold, the money? Especially, preferably the father. He's paying the things that need to be paid. All right, the lights, we need those on. I'm going to pay that. The gas, we need that on. I'm going to pay that. The water, we need that. I'm going to keep that on. You give it to a damn child. What do you think he going to do with it? I'm going to go get a Spider-Man toy. I'm going to go get some candy, some cookies. And that's where we at right now. The child that's ruling over this land is Esau, Edom. They're the children of fools, yeah. The children of base men, and is coming to a close, this society. It says, an unrighteous king destroyeth his people. And that's where we're at right now. So the elect members don't have to worry about anything because we no longer stay upon him that smote us. But we're leaning on the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And we know these things must come to pass. And the Lord will not leave his sons and daughters hungry or helpless or comfortless. He has given us comfort through the word, through the scriptures. And YAHAWASHI said he will be with us even unto the end of the age. And the Lord said his servants shall eat and drink, and that our children shall not see hell, the grave. So we have nothing to fear. The end is near. The day of the Lord draweth nigh, it hasteneth greatly. It's Isaiah 19:5. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up. So everything coming into Babylon, is being dried up. It says that the waters of the Nile will fail to rise and flood the fields. The riverbed will be parched and dried, just like that famine that hit Egypt. The Nile was the life's blood of Egypt. That's where they had the trade routes. That's where they were getting the fishes and all that from. Their economy was booming from the Nile. But the Lord said he has struck the Nile. He said the Nile will fail. So the modern Nile here is Wall Street. That's where everything flows, right? Once the Lord strikes that, it's over, it's done. He's striking it even now before it even collapses, is already doing damage to this place. Things are drying up. Nations are not really doing deals with this place anymore. And then whatever is being shipped in is being slowed down. Okay? The riverbed will be parched and dried. Yep. This is going on. Just like when the Lord struck the Nile in the Exodus, it said that with the blood, it said that the Egyptians had to dig round about the river to find water. If you bring it to modern times, the economy just stopped by way of this pandemic, right? People had to go around and look for anything that they could find. And now that they're in certain places, these places are telling them, all right, you're going to have to make a decision. Take this juice or get the hell on. And if you do get fired or you just leave because that's not what you believe in, you will not be able to apply for unemployment. See that? So this is where we're at. Isaiah 19:6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. Let's get it. And it reads, the canals of the Nile will dry up, and the streams of Egypt will stink. Yeah, instead of it being flowing water, this economy booming, everything is going to be slowed and stopped. Just like when rivers are dried up or rivers are stagnant, they become swampy and disease ridden. That's what's going on in Babylon. These businesses are decaying and becoming nothing. Ain't no more goddamn Macy's Day Parade is done, is through. People are sick, right, in these jobs by getting this juice, and is stopping the production. Now, if you have a good day and then a slow day, it's not as bad. But if you continually have a slow day and certain people are more and more dropping out and certain people are being fired and other people you're letting go, what is that leading to? No revenue for the business. So the business is going to eventually go bankrupt. And that's exactly where we're at. It says the canals of the Nile will dry up and the streams of Egypt will stink with rotting reeds and rushes. No one's to till these grounds and make them, look the way they're supposed to look. No one's at the riverbanks, getting out these fishes. No one is really putting into this economy. So, hey, then there's going to be a stalemate and it's going to begin to stink. This American dollar is beginning to stink to high heaven.
The laws of economics are just like the laws of physics. What goes up will come down. The government keeps feeding fuel to the inflation. The CPI is up 2% in the most recent 3 months. Annualized, that comes to 8% inflation. The PPI is up 2.5% in the most recent 3 months. That comes to 10% annualized inflation.
So this place is through inflation, man. It's just a damn bubble blowing up to the point of popping. Okay? It says the paper reeds by the brooks and by the mouth of the brook, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither be driven away and be no more. So certain companies no longer here. Other places outside of Babylon that's exporting their goods to Babylon are at a standstill. They're not bringing a lot of these goods in. Even though the orders are still coming in, they're not reaching these shelves. So the people are feeling it because the prices are going up, because the demand is high, but the supply is low. See? It says all the greenery along the riverbank, which this is how you know that you have a booming crop. When things are green, when things are withered and dried up and stank and through, that means that the land that you're on is not producing, is not yielding its fruit, it's decaying, it's dried up, it's flooding, it's not good. So the more money they pump into this economy, the more worse it gets. But then if there's not enough to the economy, then it's done, it's drying up. The Lord has hidden this place with an economic famine, an economic disaster, a drought. It says all the greenery along the riverbank and all the crops along the river will dry up and blow away. So all these different business deals that they once did with these other nations on the goods is drying up. Nobody's using the American dollar, but then yet they're pumping more and more of this paper into the economy, and a lot of people are not really buying as they once did because there's nothing to buy. And then they're just holding on to the money, and that's leading to the collapse of the economy because the money is not generating itself back into itself. Okay? It says the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread the nets upon the water shall languish. It's going into the economists and you laborers, you workers. People that have businesses can't invest because nothing is going to come back from it. They're going to actually lose more than what they put in. And those working are not getting anything. The wages have somewhat gone up, but it's not the power of the wages have not gone up. And the food prices have gone up, but you're still not getting the same quantity of food. Okay? It says, the fishers will lament for the lack of work. Those who cast hooks into the Nile will groan, and those who use nets will lose heart. They're losing mind. All right? There's lack of work. There ain't no work to be had in Babylon. It says, moreover, they that work in fine flax and they that weave networks shall be confounded. Now we're going into, we're in a computer age. They're making networks with these different platforms, and none of these are even helping them out. They're at a loss. Okay? It says, there will be no flax for the harvesters, nor threads for the weavers. They don't have enough supply. The demand is high, but the supply is low. That burger that you love eating, there's a certain ingredient coming from goddamn India or wherever the hell. If they can't get that certain ingredient, then it ain't gonna be the same burger you remember. Or the meat is coming from somewhere, from the Midwest, from Texas. You ain't getting it from there. Or you got your rice coming from California. You ain't getting it from there because the fires have destroyed them lands. Or that pomegranate you used to get from the land of Israel. It ain't coming through because the shipping has stopped, because the skirmishes and the wars in that region have stopped the production from leaving that area. So you don't have those supplies to keep things going. So businesses are failing because they're not getting the supply that they once had. It says, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all that make slushes and ponds for fish. Right? Now let's get this in translation comparison. And it reads, they will be in despair, and all the workers will be sick at heart. Yeah, all the workers are sick at heart because there's not enough to go around. And their leaders have become weak, and they don't even know what to do. But the Lord has purposed this against Egypt. Let me get this. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
the stock market is looking just like the California wildfires. If every time there is a small burn, and the government quashes it, it gives out money and reduces the rate to stop the burn, eventually there will be a fire that gets completely out of control and becomes a huge conflagration. Right now, we are seeing the highest M2 money supply in history and seeing surging inflation. The government would need to triple its response to control the raging events. Considering they've been pumping the market with QE for over 10 years, and they know there won't be a losing trade, they should have millions in the bank. If they're really smart, they'll start pulling back on QE and short the markets and make even more money. In other words, sell everything, as they say. Hypothetically, of course. Their only ethics is to get richer than the rest of the plebs. So I admit that selling to bag holders right before the crash is the right thing to do in such a case. The stock market is losing breadth. Soon it will dive. Yes, prices continue to rise, but growth is saturating. Business costs are rising.
I like what he said. See, that was beautiful. That's exactly what we was reading about the reeds and they're gonna stink. He said it's saturating. When you saturate something, it just means it's sitting there. But hey, man, that's where we're at right now. Expect prices to rise. Expect things to get more scarce because the Lord is bringing down this nation. Call all YAHAWASHI. This is Isaiah 19 and 15 NLT. There is nothing Egypt can do. Modern Egypt is America. All are helpless. The head and the tail, the noble palm branch and the lowly reed. From the rich in this society that have businesses to those that's on goddamn welfare, EBT and all that is all coming to a close because there's nothing they can do. This greenback is failing and they're at their wits' end. And I'm going to end it on a good note for the elect. While all these things are happening, what are we doing? We're building an altar to the Heavenly Father, beginning with really the altars are the camps that are out there. All right, we're building an altar to the Lord and we're crying to him because of the oppressors, because this man's economy crashing is going to lead to what? Him coming down with great wrath, Jacob's trouble. But the Lord is going to deliver an elect from the danger. And those that are escaped from the nations, okay, that are of our people, that are amongst these nations. Isaiah 19 and 19, in that day shall there be an altar to the Lord, YAHAWASHI, in the midst of the land of Egypt, America, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, YAHAWASHI, and there shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord, who? The elect, YAHAWASHI, because of the oppressors. And he shall send them a savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. Who's that savior? Who's that great one? Yahushua Mashiach. So with that, Lord's willing, you have been edified with this lesson, just going into what the scriptures have been speaking about, what they're saying, what's happening. And what the economy failing is going to lead to is the sedition, wars, troopers searching the houses to kill everybody. These other nations not dealing with the dollar, but taking what's real value, which is land, possessions, things that could be liquidated. That's what they're going to come here and seize. And there's no reason to look to this economy or this nation because it is failing and it is nothing, and the Lord is bringing it down. But soon the people that do trust in this place are going to be just like the Egyptians during the time of Joseph and say, we have nothing left but our lands and our bodies. And they're going to give their body for what? Certain people have already given their arms, their body for what? Nessa. Others are going to give their bodies for what? The RFID microchip. And once that ensues, then the world war is going to begin. And it won't be too long after that. For look up, for thy salvation draweth nigh. And we're going to see YAHAWASHI in the skies. And we're going to get the hell up out of here. But as this place crumbles, be excited, be happy, be uplifted. Praise ye YAHAWASHI, for he said that these things will be brought to pass. And they're coming to pass right now. So Barakatah YAHAWASHI, call all YAHAWASHI. And remember, brothers and you few sisters out there, Jacob's trouble is not for those that believe in YAHAWASHI, that love him, that do his will, that does that which is well-pleasing for him. Is for the wicked of our people to suffer. And not only they, but this whole nation is going to suffer, from Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man and his people, to all the mingled people that dwell in the land. And it's not only going to be in this land, but throughout all lands. So with that, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors unto my apostles, my elders, my teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so. And to you brothers out there, fellow soldiers, yoke fellows, brothers of the sword, Shalawam to you. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect and to the house of David. Shalawam.